Okay, parts are here. We're getting ready to tackle it. I'm going to explain what we're going to do. I decided not to order the $400 worth of new steel lines for this return line. And we're going to do like I do in all my fuel systems. I'm going to do push lock hose and push lock fittings, some -6 adapters, and I did pick up a new cooler just in case, but I think I can get away with, on my old one, since it doesn't look like the cooler itself leaks, it's just these tubes that are all rusted away and leaking. What I'm going to try to do is use these fittings underneath, replace those, and then do, slide that on, put the clamp on, bring that around, bring it up to the front, do a push lock fitting up at the engine. In fact, so this fitting here will fit right in there on the return line. So there'll be a blue one there. It'll be all pretty. And then it'll be -6 hose going all the way back into the cooler, and then a new line looping up here. So that's the plan. So as we get a little more done, I will bring everybody along. I forgot to kick the heat up last night, and in-floor heat takes a while. So we've only come up 3 degrees so far this morning, because I had it at 45 and I just told it to be 55. So it'll take a few. It's a little chilly in here. I should have come out last night and kicked that up, because it does take a little time. So we'll do some editing on this video, I think. Okay, here's our first update. You can see we've got the return line started. It's routed underneath, just following along. I've got a big mess going on under here because I just got the cooler out, so you can see where it's dripping there. Now, you might, okay, yeah, now you can see it. But you can see, just routed that along where the old line was. Just cut those off and broke them out. Just got the cooler out, and it's sitting over in that Amazon box over there. So, I just got the fittings off. There was zero chance that was going to happen in the car. That fitting there was completely seized. So I got those out. So now I'm going to clean it up, put those stubs on, and pressure check this. If it holds pressure, we're going to reuse it and save a couple $100. Okay, I think we've got it. So like I showed you a minute ago, which is more than a minute ago, we've got it coming off the return line. Let's crawl under here. You can see took quite a bit. What you can see here's the problem we were facing. It was just how rusty those lines coming off were. Both of them. I wound up just snapping them off to make my life easier. They were just disgusting and were never going to come apart. The one line I did have to take apart took longer than every other bit of this project, but I did eventually get it. It's the one coming off the fuel tank. So now we're under. Here's the drive shaft. Alright, let me turn the light so we can see. Alright, you can see we've got, that's the fuel line coming from the front. It's following along where the old return line was. Here's this rusty mess. We just cut it out. We're using it just to convince it to go where we want. You can see the new pipes. So the one coming from the front of the engine is running up and running in. That pipe goes through the cooler, comes out that pipe, and then just loops around to, hopefully we can see it. There we go. It's the one that goes to the tank. I spent a good hour on that, but I finally got it apart without damaging that hose. They just get rust in there, and these fittings, they're great. They'd be great in Tennessee. They're not great in Minnesota. So we got them. I'm pretty confident that this will work. The feed line actually looks pretty good, so I'm not going to worry about that yet until that becomes a problem. And let's see if I can get up here. No, I can't reach the top of the tank from underneath down here, but you can kind of see where it all runs. It all runs up in here. You know, it's Minnesota. There's definitely some rust. What do you do? But yeah, that's the solution I'm doing for now. that'll stop that leak. Maybe last a couple years. Well, actually, the repair will last longer than the truck will. So, yeah, sorry for making everybody feel a little dizzy. Okay, here's the one that took me a while to get out. You can see the rust just builds up, and then it builds up behind those little fingers. So you got to keep flushing it with the WD or, you know, whatever you're using. Keep flushing it, you know, keep working your tool. You know, in this case, this tool just wasn't doing it. I wound up having to use the one I could get a little more leverage on for holding. So I wound up sticking that one in there. And then just working it and cleaning behind the ears and cleaning behind until it could finally get past. And then once that rusty bit could get past, you know, it doesn't cost much to buy. You know, you get two sizes, 5/16 and 3/8. I needed 3/8, so I cut a chunk off of that and then took my bead roller and, you know, you stick that in there and you form a nice little bead on the end for your hose clamp. And then I like the EFI style clamps, as you saw earlier in the video. For fuel use, I don't like worm clamps. So even though I used worm ones for my little pressure tester earlier, I won't use those in the car for fuel. I use the EFI style clamps. They don't cut into the hose. Just a personal preference. And then obviously these were the little, so there's the part number 800-170. I needed 2 of those to go on the cooler, so that was these 2 lines on the cooler, except they're not bead lock. They're, you know, standard for a hose clamp. If you need a bead lock, it's going to be a different part number, if it's even available. But so there was the part I used for those. You know, this is that line I had to get off, and of course the whole thing is siphoning fuel down your arm the whole time, because that's just the way that works. You can see I generally do like the Fragola parts. I didn't wind up using any of these newer ones. I just used some reclaimed ones. These are what I tend to use on automotive projects for fuel injection swaps. I really like this product line. And then a 15-foot bundle, which I had some in stock. And then here was another. This is all that's left. Let me put it down so you can see it. From 15 feet. For just doing that return line, as you just saw. So that gives you kind of a feel. So I think they're like 40-45 bucks for 15 feet. It might be less, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've ordered any of those. These fittings, these push lock fittings, are expensive, but I only needed one and then one adapter. You could actually just hose clamp it. It is a return line. It's not under any pressure. But you know, I'm a car crafter, and that's the way that is. So, made a big mess. Come in here, and then you'll see this is the same series hose I use everywhere. So you can see, even here, it's the same line. I really do use it on everything. It's really easy to work with, and it's reasonably priced. So, yeah, the push lock series from Fragola, or not push lock, the slip-on push hose from Fragola. I really do like these. So, oh yeah, it is push lock. There we go. So there's like a right angle. There's straight ones, 45s, 135s. In fact, I think I have one. Yeah, here's a 135 right here. That's great when you're coming off of a fuel pump on a car underneath, and you got to get around something, you know. But you know, the fuel pump always comes out in 3 ways here, and your hoses can't be doing that. So there. Now, in a little while, we'll find out if this worked. Okay, I dug out a spare key. Let's see if she likes to start. She may or may not. I've never actually depressurized the diesel before. Holy shit, she started. Okay. That looks dry. Let's crawl under. Let's see what we get. Okay, let me come back where you guys are. That one is dry. That one is dry. Can you guys see that that one is also dry? No leaks. We're going to drive it for a couple days and see how she does. There'll be a little bit left from that line I left. But look at that. The truck drives again. And I did put the bed down. The brake lines actually weren't as bad as I thought they would be. So I have them on a shelf if I need them. And the truck thinks it's nighttime. But yeah, she started right up. Sweet. It's fixed. It means I'm probably going to be able to send that thing back. Well, I am happy to report that it appears to be fixed. I've just crawled under, and the only things that are wet is that line I cut. All the new ends are dry. And yeah, it worked. So I got lucky. It wasn't the cooler itself. And just a bunch of lines and fittings. So about $100 fix. I'm pretty happy.